எப்படி இருக்கிறீங்க? இன்றைக்கி நாங்கள் வந்திருக்கிறது கியா EV6 என்ற ஒரு கார் எலக்ட்ரிக் கார் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிருக்கோம். அது இங்கே இப்போ புதுசாக ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. எங்களை கஸ்டமர்ஸ் கியா வச்சுருக்கிற கஸ்டமர்ஸை இன்வைட் பண்ணி நம்ம பார்க்க சொல்லி அதான் இன்றைக்கி பார்க்க போகிறோம். உங்களுக்கு கொண்டு காட்டுறோம்.
My name is Tony Gilliam, I'm dealer principal, and we at Dover Garage are pleased and proud to have been a Kia dealer for over 25 years. The EV6 represents a huge change for Kia, and we wanted you, our loyal customers and those people who we hope to meet and interact with in the future, be the first people to see this exciting car. With the EV6, Kia wanted to design and produce a dynamic and a beautiful car with a range of over 300 miles and a fast charge. And a fast charge, as my colleague explained to me, is a really fast charge, groundbreaking. With the EV6, this is the start for Kia of a launch of over 11 vehicles in the next few years, which will all be electric. So Kia are really majoring on what will be the future, no doubt about it. And we're all extremely proud and honoured to present this car to you. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the EV6.
Inspires us as a brand. We celebrate nature's perfection and simplicity, and we pay homage to it in everything we do. We want to share with you our vision in which nature and modernity can coexist. Inventions and innovations that inspire the way you think, move, and live. Opposites United is the
Ladies and gentlemen, the new Kia EV6. Good evening, my name is John Paul. It's my pleasure at Dover Garage Kia just to give you a quick overview of this fantastic vehicle. This is what is known as a pre-production car. It's not an actual finished car. So you have little bits and pieces on it that aren't up to our normal high standards. If you've been doing your homework, it's a bit of GT Line and GT Line S in terms of specs. But directly in front of me is Dover's fantastic new demonstrator, only arrived I think yesterday, no one has driven it yet, so hopefully you can get yourself booked in for a test drive early next week. That's the most important thing to do today, folks. But let's just say, even though this is a brand new car, it doesn't have very happy endings to its life. And its life will both inspire and excite you on every journey. With its CUV styling and design, it's cutting edge engineering and it's exciting electric performance. So start at the front, we've got the fantastic new Kia logo, making us even more premium than we already are. We have these very, very distinctive daytime running lights. We have progressive sequential indication see working in a moment. And unfortunately, winter is upon us. And on our LED headlights, we have what's known as adaptive driving beam technology. And what that means is you can put your headlights on full beam and you'll never dazzle another vehicle because it turns elements of the LEDs on and off automatically. So a great feature for the winter months coming up ahead. Now, styling wise, I think it's a great looking car whatever angle you look at it from. I personally like at the front these nice sharp pointed bonnet lines going to these big chunky wheel arches on the clamshell bonnet. It gives you the impression from the front that it's a massively wide car. It isn't as wide as it looks, it just gives that look. It just has a lot of presence and purpose at the front end. Then from the side we have a choice of 19 to 21 inch diamond cut wheels. Now as soon as you start talking about 19 inch wheels and above, people instantly think, oh, it's going to be a terrible ride. No, the suspension has been perfectly tuned, so it's a great ride whichever wheel option you're thinking of going for. And if any of you are thinking of the GT version that's coming next year, that has electronically controlled dampers, so from inside the cabin you can adjust the suspension setting depending on driving mood or road conditions. And when you look at the car from the side, you'll notice there's very small overhangs front and rear. We push the wheels further apart. By doing that we give you more internal space because that's what everyone wants in a car, as much internal space as possible. With the CUV styling at the rear we have an aero spoiler and a diffuser at the back of the car. That cuts down on the drag, flows through the air better, so you're going to get more miles per charge, and that's what we all want out of an EV, as many miles per charge as possible. You can probably just see glistening in our backdrop there, we have our Stagnant LED rear light design. Very striking at the rear end, you'll always know there's an EV6 in front of you. Storage space, we have a very generous 520 litres, that's slightly more than you get in the Sportage. And this is very much an Americanism, folks. In the front trunk or the frunk, we have storage as well. These are both rear-wheel drive versions where we have 52 litres of storage space. If it was an all-wheel drive, you have 20 litres. Now, I've got to tell you this little story. Can't remember what dealership when it was, probably 2 months ago now. I heard a couple looking in the front of the car, which was what's known as relaxation seats. They're 30% thinner than a conventional seat, giving you even more space and leg room in the rear. And you can also put those front seats fully flat. So you can have a little power nap while you're charging. It will be a quick nap because of how well it charges, that I'll come to in a moment. Now for the driver, all the controls fall to hand. You'll see this for yourself in a moment. In front of you we have a curved panoramic display housing two 12.3 inch screens, one in front of you, all your driver information, one to your left, your entertainment and navigation settings. Now we all know what heads-up display is. Lots of people nodding. If anyone doesn't, very easily explain it. Basically projects an image onto the windscreen, so you don't need to look away from the road to see how fast you're going or how fast you should be going. And on the two top models we have what's known as augmented reality, so it gives you a 3D image on the screen as well. Now if anyone wants into their music, we have a premium sound system, a Meridian 14 speaker sound system. It's a great sound system if you like the tunes. Now charging, quite important on an EV car as you can imagine. Now we're very proud at Kia, we're one of two manufacturers that has 800 volt charging technology. Basically that means super fast charging. You can add 60 miles to your range in 4.5 minutes and go from 10 to 80% charge in 18 minutes. That's when you're using this 350 kilowatt charger. If we combine that with 77.4 kilowatt battery and a range that's saying on the screen now 316 miles, ignore that, that's already wrong. The people who do the independent testing for cars, who do the WLTP figures, have had the car, the rear-wheel drive version, and that range is now up to 328 miles per charge. So win-win situation for everybody there. Earlier mentioned the GT version. When that's launched next year, it's a bit of a halo model. It's offering supercar performance, has a drift mode. If anyone knows what drifting is, can be put into drift mode. Has a very impressive 0 to 62 time. Have anyone been doing their homework? Go on, sales team. 3.5 seconds and a top speed of over 160 miles an hour, so it'll be a fantastic car when that arrives next year. Now we also have regenerative braking. We must all know what regenerative braking is. We have smart regenerative braking. We have 6 levels, and its top setting, that's known as iPedal. This car is true one pedal driving. And honestly folks, with 95% beep, then it physically will not allow you to open the door. So I think that's a really nice little safety feature to have on the car, amongst many other great features. But my favourite feature, I'm going to finish on this folks, vehicle to load. Would anyone know what vehicle to load is? Don't ruin it. For the ones who do, don't ruin my finale. Don't ruin it, guys. Now, wouldn't it be clever if we lost the power to these screens behind me, if we could power it from the car? And we can do that. We get an adapter plug out, put the charging port at the back, run a standard 3-pin extension cable into it so you can power external electrical devices that use up to 3.6 kilowatts of energy from the car. We could even give that EV6 in front of me a trickle charge. So I just think that's a super feature. And once your battery gets to 20%, it stops drawing energy out of the battery, so you can never fully flatten it.
இதுக்குள்ள முன்னால சாமான் வைக்கலாம்.
இதுக்கு தான் சாமான் வைக்கலாம்.
என்ஜின் இல்ல.
இன்ஜின்
எலக்ட்ரிக்
இன்ஜின். நல்லா இருக்கு. நான் பார்க்க வரலாம்.
गियर मात्र इधर
fit on the thing. Yeah.
Charger, I think.
Yeah, a lot of the cars, the big phones don't fit on them. It does on this one anyway. It's just.
Battery வந்து கீழ தான் இருக்கு. ஃப்ளோர்ல இருக்கு பேட்டரி.
பேட்டரியா?
நடுவுல என்ன மாதிரி ஆக்கள் இருக்கலாம் நடுவுல.
நடுவுல சின்ன சீட். சின்ன சீட். பார்க்கலாம். இந்த சார்ஜர் எலக்ட்ரிக் சார்ஜர் வந்து இதுக்குள்ள இருக்குது. அதை ஓப்பன் பண்ணோம்னா அதை ஓப்பன் பண்ணிடலாம்.
Rapid charging.
What is that light indicator?
வீல் கண்ட்ரோல் வருது. என்ன நல்ல டிசைன். மடிச்சு போட்டு இப்படி வீட்டுக்கு இருக்கு சாமான். இதை எடுத்துக்கோங்க. இதுல வந்து டீ கப் எல்லாம் வைக்கலாம். இதை வந்து இப்படி எடுத்து விடலாம். தானா அப்படி போகுது. இப்படி ப்ரெஸ் பண்ண தானா
Hole going through, so you can put stuff through. The seats down.
பட்டனை வந்து போகுது. இன்னுக்கு முன்னுக்கு என்ன இதான் கீரை என்ன நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. இது என்ன கீரை? இதை டர்ன் பண்ணணும். அப்படி
டர்ன் பண்ணணும்.
இப்படி இது
ஓகே. that's ignition
starting.
Yeah, keyless things, isn't it?
This one?
Just the heaters and stuff.
What is this ones?
That's the parking sensors. And then the heaters and stuff are there. So it's just touch.
Touch them. Little things எல்லாம் வைக்கலாம். Nice. ஃபேஸ் இங்கே பாருங்க நல்லா இருக்கு.
Oh, you got this space as well.
உயரமான ஆக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க. இது கீழே இருக்கு. இந்த பாருங்க.
That's storage. That's storage.
Storage there. Yes. More storage. அந்த மேலே பாருங்க sunroof. இது வந்து இந்த ஓப்பன் பண்ணுறது